Hey, what's up, everybody? If you're like me, then this past week you've been tuning into the 2018 World Series of Poker main event out in Las Vegas. And for those of you who've been watching, we're about to talk about a hand that happened last night. And there's going to be some spoilers coming up. So if you are watching the broadcast and you haven't seen the bubble to the final table, turn this off right now because we're going to spoil the shit out of the bubble. All right, cool. Well, you've had your morning. So obviously, those of you who have seen the broadcast know that a gigantic hand developed last night with aces versus kings, and the bubble being burst with Sue going out in 10th in our November 9, uh, finally being cemented. So last night I was at the casino, and as we were watching this, the topic came up of how much this pot was actually worth in real dollars. And I thought that was a really, really cool concept. And I've been working a lot with ICM lately, so I decided to go through and make a spreadsheet and figure out actually how much this pot was worth. So if you haven't seen the hand yet, definitely head over to this is, I think, Poker Central, Poker Central's channel. Type in aces versus kings, whatever. You're going to be able to find this hand, but I highly recommend go ahead and watch the hand. It's pretty exciting. And then pause this video, come back to me, and we'll go through it. All right. So yeah. So spreadsheet time, I guess. All right. Perfect. So on ESPN, they did a pretty good job of hyping up the situation, putting the cards out slow, talking it up a lot. Maria Ho even mentioned, some stuff about Labatt maybe being able to fold in this situation. But like I said, not a lot of infographics about how much this pot was actually worth. So, when you check on WSOP.com, this is how it's going to come up. This was the hand before it. I think like they were on hand maybe 170 of the day or the broadcast or the final table. I don't know exactly. But 171, it goes like this. Those numbers change, and people don't really get it. But we're gonna look through this a little bit and see how this stuff goes. Yeah, time to full screen here. Okay, so what I've done here is on the top we have the ESPN/WSOP, whatever layout for the chip stacks. On the bottom there, we actually have these are ordered in rank on the bottom. So ask yourself as we're coming up, what do you think this pot was worth? I know somebody threw around $1 million. A couple people were saying 500,000, stuff like that. Obviously, we've got some pretty big prize pools. Do you think it was 5 million, 10 million? What we're going to do here is we'll go ahead and with the help of ICMizer.com, sorry, I'm sandbagging you guys a little bit here. We are going to run the ICM values of the chip stacks before the hand, and then after the hand comes out. So really quickly, we have the before and after for ICM values. And some of you guys are good at math, so we're just going to scroll down. First question that we wanted to ask, or that I wanted answered basically, was how much did Nicholas Spanian actually win in this hand? So we can see through the chip values here that he goes from 72 blinds all the way up to a staggering 188 blinds, which is really, really sick. I mean, that's like just indescribably sick. And we're going to talk about it a little bit, why it is so sick. But you can see here at the bottom already, jumping from an ICM value at 72 blinds. I mean, we're in the main event, and he's already fourth, and he's going in the final table at $3.1 million already, which was huge, jumping up to $5.1 million. So Nicholas Mannion bagging a cool just shy of $2 million on this hand. And, as we're going through and figuring out the pot size, you got to keep in mind that, like, if you go to your local casino, and I'm sorry, I know this is, like, very elementary for some of you guys, so I'll keep it quick. But if you're at your local casino and you win $500 in the pot, obviously someone else has to put $500 into a pot, so it's a $1,000 pot, right? It's Nicholas Mannion. I mean, let your mind start spinning a little bit. 1.9 million that he won here, and that's no joke. So next thing we wanted to look at, obviously some of you guys who have played a lot of tournaments are very, very familiar with the idea of laddering up, and we had some short stacks coming into this hand in the form of Zobian and I was calling him Metallidai before, but yeah, Metallidai. So, the shorties on 32 blinds, 26 blinds, Joe Cat on 40 blinds. How much are these guys netting? And if we're scrolling down a little bit, we can see that the nets for just folding hands, man. And I mean, like I said, we're still running, so we've already got our 4 million in the bag. Start adding this up. These are the ICM values differentials for these other people. And one of the things that I thought was really cool, 28th place prize money out of 7,874 entrants this year was 230K. So this guy basically just just bagged for sitting out of this hand. I don't know who the guy was that folded tens, but yeah, bagged a 28th place finish in the main event by just folding this hand. This number is really, really cool, I think, too. A combined $1.4 million that the people that sat out of this hand that folded earned by laddering up on this hand. So obviously the next question, how much does it cost to have pocket kings on this hand? We can see Labatt and Zoo. I mean, just unbelievable stuff. And I mean, Maria Ho, she was talking about it. Maybe Labatt can get find a fold with pocket kings, but when you're looking at a number like that, $1.8 million, you wonder if Labatt. I mean, heaven forbid I ever make it to a final table at the main event, but good God, a call off that even if the pot isn't that big, I imagine that Labatt, it's got to cost him over $1.5 million to call there. And when you're starting off at a $10,000 buy-in, you wonder if that's something that he'll think about. And I don't know. I mean, obviously he's going to think about it. Just wild. So last thing we're going to look at here, guys, the big question. Obviously, when we're talking about these pots, and we're talking, basic concept that came from before. Somebody loses, somebody wins, and this is the way that we figure out the size of a cash pot in a cash game. If you're adding these totals together and going along, I think you're going to be pretty staggered by how big this pot actually was. And I think that we probably won't. I can almost guarantee we will not see a cash pot. We won't see a cash pot this big on TV ever. We're just going to cut to the chase. But the total net of everything that got won and lost in this hand, just a little over just a little under $6.7 million. So just to put it in perspective, how huge that was and how exciting this stuff is that they're showing it on ESPN. I don't know, man, just absolutely crazy to me, and it's been kind of fun going through this, and I'm definitely going to be looking out for the continued broadcast. So hope you guys will tune in. Hit the subscribe button if you liked this. Hit like, hit comment, whatever you want to do. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, guys. Really, really exciting, and hopefully this main event continues on the way that it has and all that fun stuff. So, all right, cool, guys. All right, well, we'll see you later. Have a great day.